In this week's crypto recap, we're going to be covering things ranging from an increase in institutional investors to the continued establishment of investment funds for cryptocurrencies, as well as Bermuda's use of cryptocurrencies to help pay taxes. So, we are, of course, joined once again by Monday Morning's cryptocurrency expert, Dave Zeiler. Thank you for being here, Dave.
Always good to be here.
Let's start off with some of this institutional investment. What has CME been up to recently?
Well, CME just put out its third quarter report, and it was very interesting. CME has been doing Bitcoin futures since December of 2017, and that's what this report had to do with. And they said that the number of their open contracts was up 61% from where they were a year ago, which is a pretty big jump. And they said specifically that this was due to rising interest from institutional investors.
And what do you mean by institutional investors?
They're sort of like the bigger investors there, and it even includes things like endowment funds for colleges and stuff, as well as, just like large financial institutions,
Okay. And then kind of as institutional investment is growing, we're seeing more kind of traditional ways to invest in Bitcoin. Grayscale Investments has been established a fund a while ago. What's the check-in with them?
Yeah, Grayscale actually created their first Bitcoin fund back in 2013. They were going to do an ETF. They decided not to. Instead, they created a fund that only accredited investors can buy into. But it's been going on for quite a number of years, and they added a bunch of other crypto funds since then. They now have 10, actually, of these funds. And they said they also had a third quarter report that inflows into their fund from the second quarter to the third quarter tripled. They went from $84.8 million to $254.9 million, which is a pretty huge leap for one quarter to another, and especially when you consider that Bitcoin in that quarter went down 25%. So that tells me that these institutional investors, and by the way, they said that most of, which is 84% of the money was coming from hedge funds.
Wow.
So also, the big boys. And they, crap.
No, that's okay. No, that's actually a perfectly good cut spot. Is there more you want to say on that?
I just wanted to say that it just shows that they have confidence, that they are all of these.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah. So just like still confidence, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can just kind of jump in with that. Okay. I can cut that in. Okay.
And what I like about this, from both of these developments, is that it shows that these big investors who should know what they're doing, especially, like the hedge fund guys, that they have confidence that Bitcoin as an investment is going to go up. I mean, you don't buy into something that's going down in price if you think that it's bottoming out or it has no future. They think it has a future as an asset.
So turning to a more country and sovereign perspective, Bermuda has been taking a closer look at using cryptocurrencies as well as blockchain technology. What have they been up to?
Yeah, one of the things that they decided to do, which is a little surprising for a government, is that they're going to allow people to pay their taxes in a cryptocurrency. It's specifically a stable coin. It's called the USD coin. It is tied to the dollar. The value is tied to the dollar, but it is a cryptocurrency. It's created by Coinbase and Circle, who are two of the older crypto companies. And that's very interesting because most governments have been insistent that people pay their taxes in the fiat currency of the country and not use any kind of crypto, Bitcoin, or anything else, like even a stable coin. That's an interesting development that Bermuda's sort of forward-thinking in that sense. The other thing that Bermuda is doing is that they're using the blockchain technology to create a digital identity for their citizens, which would go a long way towards reducing fraud. This is a thing where everybody would have a digital identity tied to a blockchain. The blockchain is, if with like Bitcoin, they can't change it. It's an immutable thing. If they were able to pull this off, which is what they're working on with some crypto startup companies, it would go a long way towards preventing fraud and making things easier when you're doing things like opening a bank account and interacting with the government. You wouldn't have to give a number. You wouldn't have identity theft and all that sort of thing. So we'll see how that goes.
Great. These are all really exciting developments and nice kind of all show of support for the cryptocurrency as a concept.
Yeah, it shows also that cryptocurrency isn't just a currency. With the blockchain technology, it shows that there's a lot of things that it can do and a lot of other problems that it can solve in addition to functioning as a currency or even as an investment the way Bitcoin is.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Dave, for joining us this week, and I guess we'll catch you next week.
I'll be here.